Good morning, everyone. It is time for First Alert Weather Extra. Good Monday morning, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Jill Gilardi here. Hold on, let me change this real quick. I just forgot to do that, but don't mind me. Yes, it's First Alert Weather Extra. Let's talk about what we're going to be focusing on, especially the next couple of days. Tomorrow is the big focus of the next 7, actually. We're going to be dealing with afternoon scattered showers and storms into the evening hours. Some of those could be strong and interrupt outdoor plans and travel, so that's why it's a First Alert Weather Day. But today, it's hot. It's not terribly humid. We'll call it muggy, minorly muggy. So it's not going to feel that much higher than the actual air temperature. But we'll get into the 90s in some areas. We'll show you that. And then we'll be monitoring for the possibility of a few showers on Thursday afternoon, evening. So we'll see how that impacts firework displays when we get a little closer to that date. But yeah, we're going to be seeing tomorrow a front that's going to be lifting in our direction. It's going to be sparking thunderstorms, especially during the afternoon, evening hours, and some of those could pack a punch. That is why we have that First Alert Weather Day just for Tuesday. Excessive rainfall, it's a possibility, a low-end scale. You get some of those localized areas that could get over an inch. And then we talk about the possibility of a stronger severe storm. It would be more isolated in nature when you see the low-end risk versus a level 2 is more scattered. You would have more scattered severe storms, more isolated to stray in a marginal setup. All right, so even tonight into early tomorrow morning, don't be shocked if you hear some raindrops or some rumbles of thunder. There'll be some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms rolling on through. Okay, that's as that warm front lifts through. We'll also have fog tomorrow morning as well. We'll get to that in just a second. Just showing you First Alert Futurecast how things will kind of play out. It's not exact, but it gives you the idea of when to expect the brunt of when these storms develop. Again, they're hit and miss in nature, scattered. Not everyone will see rain out of this or a thunderstorm, but those of you that do, it may be a little bit more significant for your location. That threat will exist afternoon, early evening hours before the rain and the intensity of everything kind of backs off. So tonight into tomorrow morning, visibility is going to be on the low end side, and then we will see it improve. Now, in terms of the heat tomorrow, the heat risk is at a moderate level. The exception would be the southeastern Connecticut. And you see over towards even New York City getting major. It's going to be super humid tomorrow. And so we're going to climb into that feels like range of lower 90s. You're like, I can handle that. Yeah, we can handle it. It's just going to be uncomfortable, very sweaty kind of weather. So we start off after those little morning showers go through, just clouds, and then breaks of sunshine, and then here we go with the shower and thunderstorm development. The feel at the shoreline that you're looking at now for tomorrow will be more so in the mid and upper 80s. So yeah. And now's the time to water. It's pretty much every day unless your house gets rain, you can skip it. Based on how hot it's been, it doesn't take much. Sometimes watering plants twice a day. Keep an eye on their droopiness. That's usually a good indicator. Oh my gosh, I gotta give you water. All right, so the chance for wet paws does go up tomorrow, especially those areas that get some rain. Chance for hot paws goes up daily. And once we get to some of those sunnier moments later in the morning, that pavement, it gets hot. And so asphalt, pavement, things like that, you want to avoid taking your dog for a walk on, could burn their tootsies pretty quickly. How quickly? Well, when you have an air temperature very high, 97, it could take like a minute. But obviously, it may take just a couple minutes when it's just a little bit lower than that. But nonetheless, it's not a 2-second walk. Half the time it's, 5-10 minutes you're out there. That would be, too long. So grassy surfaces, more ideal. And then the heat risk today, okay, it's up into that moderate range. It's not going to be terribly humid, but the actual air temperature will get into the upper 80s, low 90s. So that's above average for this time of year. We're starting off bright, and then we're going to see some clouds developing later on today. So tomorrow's a problematic day for the next 7 with the thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then our temperature trend, not a big change with our temperatures. Daily, readings, some days getting close to 90. But this is the real kicker. We pay attention to the dew points. Going into the low 70s tomorrow, that's pretty miserable feeling air. And then it will gradually get better throughout the day on Wednesday. And wow, is it going to feel so nice by the time we get to the 4th of July. with the low dew points. So the heat index is going to spike tomorrow into that extreme caution range, and that will be fuel for those thunderstorms to develop. In terms of our allergy forecast, let me just refresh this because we did update this for you. So today it's moderate. Tomorrow and Wednesday it's like low moderate. So that's good news if you are a allergy sufferer. Grass and plantain are the high ones right now. And tomorrow's forecast, there's a look at the highs, but remember it's going to feel even hotter in the 90s. So pay attention tomorrow on the First Alert weather app that feels like temperature. Pay attention to the radar and any alerts you might get. So this past weekend, we got 1/100th of an inch of precip, we'll call it. It was from drizzle, honestly, in the morning hours in the Hartford area. So yeah, it made it 18 weekends, but all in all, it wasn't a bad weekend, especially, yesterday. And in terms of the precipitation outlook, trending a little wetter than average over the next 6 to 8 and 8 to 14 days. But ooh, trending hot, hot, hot. So our average highs are looking like they're going to be toasty as we go outward. And normally the warmest we ever see it is in the month of July of 86 degrees. And as we head into July, it looks like we're going to be pretty toasty. What's normal for this time of year? 62 for a low, 84 for high. We were pretty much at that for a low this morning, if not just slightly below that for the Hartford area. But definitely going to be above that high today as we'll get to about 91 and then 90 tomorrow, but feeling hotter. Ugh. And then as we take a look at the end of the week, we're going to slowly see the dew points drop back. Could be an isolated shower. We'll monitor that for Thursday if there's any interruption possibilities. Pretty firework displays, but no interruptions by the weather. For Wednesday, Friday, certainly not. For Independence Day, the 4th of July is looking terrific. It's going to feel great. Then we're moderating with our temperatures looking ahead towards the weekend. The highs along the shoreline, upper 80s. Some spots, it's more so like low 80s today. That 87's more for the western part of the shoreline versus the eastern part. Man, it makes a difference. So where you're located, even along the shoreline. But as we take a look at Tuesday and Wednesday, it's hot, and then we start to see the temperatures backing off some Thursday into Friday before heating back up again. All right, that's your latest First Alert Weather Extra. Of course, we'll have new data to share with you coming up on tonight's First Alert Weather Extra. That's at 9:30, so be sure to tune on in. For now, have a great rest of your day.